Hey everyone, it's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. I have attempted to film this video twice, and the last time I had a really good review and my footage got corrupted and there may have been tears. So we're gonna try, third time's a charm, right? So today I'm here to talk about my utter disdain for Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. I loathe this novel. So we follow the titular character of Jude Folly, and he is, working class, works with his hands, and he is just dreaming of this university education and becoming a scholar, and he works toward that. And throughout the beginning of the book, most of it is like, if I can only get to this university, my life will be better. And his dreams are dashed upon the rocks of life when he's trapped into marrying Arabella, who later abandons him. And then he moves to the town of Christminster, and he finds work as a stonemason. And it is in Christminster that he meets and falls in love with his cousin, who is a free-thinking new woman. They refuse to marry for the sake of religious convention and the societal norms at the time, so they are shunned by society. And all of this is on the back of the book. It's really not a huge spoiler in my opinion, because I think the book is much more than that. On a positive note, the writing style was very easy to read. It was typical Hardy. He does have some good descriptions of nature, and I like the way he describes the setting and the world around the characters. And there is one scene that was so incredibly disturbing, which I'll go into later, and it made me mad. But I will say the way he actually crafted the scene and his prose, I thought did a really good job of conveying the absolute horror of what was going on. So just a positive. That's really my only positive, to be honest. I found Jude to be incredibly frustrating. Number one, he really doesn't have it that horribly bad. He's one of those victims of yearning for the other, or if only I could do X, then my life would be better. If only I could do Y, all my problems would be solved. And he really doesn't take a look inward. And that sounds incredibly harsh, but like Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy, I really got behind the character of Tess because all of her problems, or at least most of them, were outside of herself. They were things that happened to her and things that were beyond her control. Whereas Jude, it was all just whiny. He was so whiny and petulant, and just, oh, if only I could be a scholar, if only I could do this, my life is horrible. And it's all decisions that he made, and never ever does he really admit that. Or there's one scene where something doesn't go his way and he just basically commits an act of vandalism using a Bible verse. I can kind of see what Thomas Hardy was trying to do. He was trying to explore and criticize the institutions of marriage, religion, and education through or in Victorian times. And while I feel like there are some valid criticisms for those institutions. I think a lot of this was extremely hyperbolic. I don't know if that would be the right word. Or maybe not even hyperbolic, but just incredibly unrealistic. I normally enjoy criticism of those things in Victorian literature, but the way that he did it in this was just not well done. And maybe if the characters had been more likable, maybe I could have gotten on board with it, but there really wasn't a character in here that we really got to know that I actually liked as a person. They all sucked so bad. There was one scene in this book, I wasn't expecting it. I knew something bad was gonna happen because there was a lot of good foreshadowing for it. But then when it actually happened, it was so incredibly disturbing and so incredibly sad. It made me mad because the people that it happened to, it didn't need to happen to them. And I feel like it happened to them as a consequence of Jude getting in their head and like, oh, everything's horrible. Our life sucks. We're so looked down upon. Everything is awful. And it made me mad. It didn't serve the purpose that Hardy intended. And I literally threw this book across the room when I finished it because I hated it so much. And the only reason I finished it is because I was reading it with Penny, and Sarah from Sarah Reads had a channel on her Discord where they were reading it, and I got to rant about it as I was reading it and had people share in my pain. And I also have not been rating any of my books the last year or so. I full on gave this one 1 star. If I could give it negative stars, I would. I hate it so much. It's awful. So don't read it. I'm just amazed because Tess of the D'Urbervilles was so good. The Mayor of Casterbridge was so good. And I know that not every book put out by an author is going to be a 5-star read, but the contrast in those books is truly astounding. Truly astounding. So I'm sorry if you like Jude the Obscure. It was not a pleasant reading experience for me. The only joy I got out of that reading experience was reading it with Penny and Sarah and getting to just vent about how angry I was at Jude. And Arabella and Sue. All of them are horrible. So have you read this book? If so, please let me know. What did you think about it? If you did like it, tell me what you liked about it. I'm genuinely curious. If you'd like to leave an emoji, leave a black heart emoji down below. As always, if you like this video, make sure to click the thumbs up and subscribe if you want to, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.